Hello, welcome back. Happy New Year. It's now 2025. I didn't expect to be making a pogo video, honestly, but I think that's kind of the reason why I am making one is because I have some discussion I think I want to go over involving the game, involving this channel. Just wanted to start a discussion, tell you about some of the way I have been viewing the game long term, and then also just going forward, some of my desires, wishes for this year, if you will, and I kind of wanted to throw some of that stuff out there. So to begin, like I said, Happy New Year 2025. It's crazy that it's going to be 9 years coming up this summer for Pokemon Go. I'll just bring up my screen here real quick. Part of the reason why I wanted to bring some attention to discussing just the state of Pokemon right now, at least for me, I can only speak for myself and some of my friends and what they have said, but personally, I've been pretty bored with the game. And I've been, I would say, a casual hardcore player. So in my terminology, that just means, I'm a grinder when I decide to. I can go crazy, like some of the best out there. But for the most part, I generally just do my dailies right now for the last few months. Honestly, the Wild Areas event was really fun. I can show you some of that stuff too. I hatched a lot of eggs, got some good toxel. I'm still working on all kinds of stuff that, if you've been following me, I like going after, just raising all the numbers, getting more XP, and Stardust, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just not super thrilled with the way the game is, and I'm not like trying to bash anyone. I mean, Niantic, of course, has made a ton of mistakes over the years. They've done a lot of good things too. For me, I really enjoyed, and it's funny thinking about this now, going into this year, into January. 4 years ago, roughly, they decided to raise the level cap, and that was some of the most exciting stuff I had been a part of since I started playing. Because for me, if you take a look down at the XP right now, 666,231,249 XP, and that's by no means, even in the, I don't even know, like top percentage of players. I'm sure there's a lot of players that have more than I do. But I know generally it's not what the average player has. I know I've played a ton over the last few years, and I really just want to see a level increase, because for my play style, for what I like, I can enjoy certain events, I can get into them depending on what they are. I typically really go hard for like Munchlax, Snorlax events because I really want a Shundo. It's my favorite Pokemon, Snorlax that is. Just try to get more shiny so I can lucky trade them and all that fun stuff. Hopefully get a Shundo that way. But in general, I want a level increase. It's just something that has been in talks for such a long time, and to my knowledge, I am actually the first trainer to reach level 50 in Mountain Time Zone in America. It was the first day possible, back in 2021 now. So it's been damn near 4 years, which feels crazy since I've hit level 50. And overall, my long-term goals are, to have enough XP and to have the resources roughly for whatever. We don't know if they're ever, to raise the cap, if it's going to be level 60, level 100, and what all that would entail. Of course, I'm sure it's going to have to do with a big chunk of XP, but how much, we don't know. I mean, exponentially thinking, it might be 1 billion, it might be more than 1 billion, it might be less. So I've just kind of tried to push, as much as I can when I can, to get those numbers to rise. But truthfully, I want to work on that, and so that's what I've been doing. You can see, I don't know the last time you've seen an update for my catches or stops or distance walked, but you can see it all here. I'm sure it's changed a pretty decent amount of time, because I think I only showed this stuff maybe a year ago, or maybe a little bit less than a year ago. But yeah, I mean, in the thumbnail you just saw, I mean, I love working on my plat badges. I just recently got this one here, which is pretty cool, now that I had moved almost a year ago as well, to a new spot that I have a Pokestop on my house. It's a house stop, so fortunately I've been able to create a route that I've been doing every day, multiple times a day. So, you know, in general, I also just got this one pretty recently too, which is nice. But I want to eventually get every metal plat. That's a goal. This one is pain in the butt. On a different story. We'll talk about this another time, probably an individual video. But yeah, I'd love to work on these, try to get them all plat. We don't know if there's going to be Onyx badges like there are in Ingress, I believe. They have like another tier past Platinum. You know, if there's ever to be a level increase, you know, there's still reason to work on every number you could ever imagine in this game. You could always grind harder. It's just the truth. And that's the fun of it. That's also, I think, some of the burden for a lot of people that I feel too. It's like, wow, there's just like endless, you know, time and resources you can put into this game, and that's the fun of it. And it's also, I think, the crux of some of the issue with it, because it's like, you know, even like the Gmax thing and the Dynamax thing, I'm glad they added it. I like the system. I don't love it. It's fun to do every now and again, but for me it's kind of, you know, whatever. I'm still kind of, I feel like I'm waiting for more stuff. So this is just a long-winded way of kind of showing you where I'm at and a lot of things. I'm just going to go by briefly real quick. If you want to pause and see any of these, you can. Yeah, these are some of my badges. I love working on badges. I feel like I've been saying that for a couple of minutes now, so let's back out of that. Overall, again, like I've said, long-term goals for me, it's yeah, getting a lot of catches, grinding XP, getting a lot of Stardust, seeing those numbers go up. I don't care too much about gyms or any of that. And as far as this dex, all I care about long-term, I really eventually, of course, want to get them all plat. So I want to be able to, yes, catch them all. That is, I think, a realistic goal at some point. But not just that, at least for the ones that you can, because you can't get mythicals lucky, but I want to get lucky decks completed to the best of my ability as well. You know, on a pretty good pace. I still haven't done all the calculations for things I'm missing, but I think I have the first 3 generations complete. There are other things that, mainly regionals, I still need. And there are a couple luckies like this one. Like I have a Larvesta here. I have 1 lucky. I'm sure I've kept it. I just haven't evolved it yet. But still, over the longevity, however long this game will last, I'd love to, yeah, complete the Pokedex period, complete Lucky Dex, complete the Hundo Dex, which feels unrealistic, and I'll get into that in a second, but and complete the Shiny Dex. So the way I handle Shinies and Hundos, and what I like consider to be like my completion, I think Shinies, because they're more common, there's a lot of boosted ways of getting Pokemon, like the New Year's event, which we'll get into in a second here. I know that's a reason why probably some of you clicked on the video. But for Shinies, they're just more common. You know, getting a Hundo off the floor, whether it's weather boosted or not, can be in the thousands as far as your likelihood of getting, you know, 1 to 1728 if it's weather boosted, 1 in, I think it's 4096 if it's not weather boosted. So it's uncommon. There's research, there's raids, there's other methods of getting Hundos, but I don't consider, like, I don't think living dex is necessary as far as the Hundo dex goes. It's just if I can get a Hundo of any and every species, which it is possible with trades for sure. It's a huge method. And same with like luckies and mythicals. I mean, it's impossible. You can't just, not impossible, but so unlikely that you're going to get a hundo mythical either. So I don't really, you only count the ones that are truly achievable realistically. And so I still have a lot of work to go on the hundo decks, and I have, if you're wondering, I have used scanners before. Long term, I don't go crazy for them, but if someone else has been using them and I'd been like in a vehicle, I'm not going to say no to it. But I don't like scanner chase per se. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think that also takes the fun out of it. I still want to actually grind and play for it. So take that however you will. I don't particularly worry too much about like, being, legit. I know it's a whole different discussion, but that's where I'm at. And then with the shiny decks, I do feel, I think I've already said this, but I'm just going to reiterate it. I think living decks is the way that I treat my completion, perspective. So, like here, for instance, I only need a couple more for Johto. That's the last one, actually. Ooh, not the Shiftry. Remoraid. I technically have a shiny Remoraid, but I don't consider it completed until I get a second one, so I can have a living deck, so I can evolve one of the two that I get. But you see I have a hundo Remoraid, which I'm just saving it for whenever the case. Say I was to complete a hundo, get the hundo decks complete for everything besides Remoraid, then I'm like, I don't care. I'm not waiting for an event. I don't need a calm day or whatever to keep a move on it. Then I'll evolve it. I'm just waiting. I have a ton of those things that I'm just kind of sitting on, just kind of waiting for. So in that sense, I would evolve that Remoraid, for instance, to actually complete the hundo decks. So that's just kind of how I see the game. Those are my big things. I don't care too much about shadow decks or purified decks or whatever the case. I mean, that's all stuff that's great. Or costumes. I would love to get shiny costumes and hundo costumes if they come along the way with certain events, but it's not a huge priority for me like it is for other people, and that's the cool thing. Everyone has the choice and how they want to play the game. So to move on to more recent things, I'll show you kind of what I've been doing lately in the game. Got a shiny Meowth today. That was kind of funny. But yeah, I will show you to the big big occurrence that just came through here. The big instance, I should say. And yeah, I'll show you just in general. I'm up to 23 shundos. I think 6 of them are traded. In general, yeah, I love my shundos. They're super sick. Yes. 2. No, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 of them were technically scanner. No, 6. 6 were scanner chased. So that's my my honest assessment there of my shundos. But that also shows you how many of are real. A lot of trades. But this recent one right here totally caught me off guard. I mean, I was just driving after work yesterday. As you can see, it has that old like year stamp on it. I'm just looking back at my dog. She's just laying down. I'm just making sure she's doing okay. She's tired. But totally caught me off guard. I was just going home from work basically. Actually, no, I was going to the store and driving around. Happened to get this, and it's funny because it's one that can't evolve, but I don't really care. And my rule with shundos is you have to max them all the way. So that's what we're going to do here as well. So I'm also at the highest Stardust I've ever had at one particular time. So this is a little snapshot in that world. I'm sure I'll get over it again, but we're going to max this thing out because that's the rule. If you get a shundo, that doesn't matter if it's a stupid little bug like this. You have to put 500,000 dust into it. Boom, there it goes. Level 50. Shundo Wurmple. No, don't unfavorite it. Take it off of the power up. And yeah, now it's a level 50 Wurmple, which is just ridiculous. I'll have to best buddy it sometime. Yeah, here we are. So that's fun. It totally caught me off guard. So Happy New Year to me. That's crazy. It was a 1 in 64 chance. It wasn't because all of the shinies this last event, the New Year's event, were boosted. This is one that I don't think I've shown you guys either. This was earlier this year at the research day for a bunch of electric types and bugs, I think, or I think it was just electric types. There's some of my friends as well that I was in the party with. Yeah, I got it in the car, just research. Obviously, it's a 1 in 10 shiny, but still rare to even get a 1 in 2 16 hundo. This is a short that I'm sure you've seen. I'm not sure, actually. I feel like you've probably seen it, but if you haven't, yeah, this thing's pretty cool. I went to LA at the end or at the beginning of last year for SHUNDO tour, and yeah, I got like the 1 in 13,000 jackpot of shiny hundo background, because it's a 1 in 3 to get the background. At least it was in this event, so that was ridiculous. I still can't believe I haven't best buddied some of these, but yeah, just a little recap of the shundos. There's a couple things I guess I could recap for you briefly here. Not Shawnee. I'm sure there's a million people that do that. Yeah, just gonna scroll through really briefly. I've really enjoyed, doing some of the, what are they called? The Galarian, the incense. Daily incense is really cool. I'm glad it's a thing now. That the legendaries are shiny, but again, in general, it's something that I try to do every day if I can. But I'm not gonna. I have grinded hard for them. I've put on, the Dialga, not Spatial Ren, the other one, to prolong the the time on it. But it's been hard for me to spend, especially because I have a puppy, but it's been hard for me to spend a ton of time on Pokemon Go this whole year. That's another reason why you haven't seen probably a ton of videos, from me. It's kind of just going through it here. This is all the way back now at SHUNDO tour, so yeah, a lot of fun stuff there. There's the Shundo again. Here's some hundos. I'll just kind of go over some of the stuff I've gotten recently. Yeah, a lot of stuff from the Wild Tours event. That's a lot of those hundos there are. These ones in particular, these big ones. It was a really cool event. I loved that event, honestly. Got the hundo Dynamax, not the Gigantamax, unfortunately. I didn't get any of those, too tough and not enough people involved at the time that I was able to rate them. But yeah, in general, I still love Pogo. I'm kind of waiting. I really just want to see where the game goes in the future, if it goes anywhere that I want it to go. And I'm gonna end on that note. It's been about 20-minute video now. I'm just kind of rambling almost, but I wanna, if you made it this far, yeah, I'm curious what your thoughts are. I just want to kind of start a discussion, like what are people wanting? What do people expect? Do you want a level increase? Do you really not want a level increase? Does it really matter to you? I want to see where people are at in the game, and just what your personal experience is with the game. So, yeah, random Pokemon update video, kind of from me, from my my perspective, and just a little more recent now. It's been a little more up to date, considering I haven't posted in a while as far as Pokemon goes. So Pokemon goes. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, and have a lovely year. Hopefully 2025 brings us a lot of good things, and hopefully more Pokemon videos. But I definitely plan on posting more about my puppy too. So whether you like it or not, you're going to see the doggy, because she's sweet and she's cute. So peace.